Beth going to fire one, just missed, but Ava Carter's there. Good job by the Vikings on getting on the offensive rebound. We'll reset it. Beth Graber left side to the corner to help. She's going to pump fake, drive baseline. Ball tipped out of bounds, and it will stay right here with the Lady Vikings. So good job that time. Jenica Helms, the nice pump fake to go around her defender baseline. Got blocked, but it'll stay here.
I think we are up on YouTube finally, and I have no idea what magic button that I pushed, Brino, but I think we're good.
When you push them all, you're bound to get the right one.
That's right. So 15-10 Forest Park. What did I miss?
Well, the Bar Eve Lady Vikings just hit their third three-pointer of the game as Willow Thompson knocks one down. So that is something, Deco, we've talked about trying to get that shooting percentage up, and especially from behind the arc, and they're doing it today.
So 15-13.
Now, I will tell you this, what you didn't miss was the fact that as I got handed play-by-play duty at the last second, I have really bricked on Forest Park stats. So we're just gonna go with they've got 15.
Okay.
And maybe I'll run down at the scores table and catch up at halftime. But, Treader is going to knock down that free throw after a foul, second foul by Mariah Brunson. So Treader going to knock that down, make it 15-13, and she'll have a second one. She's a good player. Knocks down the second one too. So 16-13, no pressure for the Lady Vikings. Willow Thompson going to bring it across the timeline. I'm just going to keep talking. Deco, you're ready to go.
Yeah, I think we may be close to getting there, but who knows? We're going to keep trying, I tell you that much. Yeah, that's talking about that with a lot of people. Is that would go out of bounds? But I think it'd be easy for a lot of people to solve, whether it's Ellie or Braden Knapp. But a lot of times, hey, when a coach is putting you out there in a spot, they still you're still in the mix, you're still in the discussion, and they still have plans for you in the future. So 17-13. Yeah, a good Forest Park team, and I know you talked about the tail of the tape as Jenica with the basketball on the left side. What have you seen in your research? What have you learned about these Forest Park Rangers? Yeah, and I doing some, research and kind of keeping track of these Lady Rangers. And, there's some girls, there is some tall talent out there, and there's going to be some college basketball players, I got a feeling. Well, maybe you, as I'm trying to...
You restarted as Forest Park going to knock down a 3 to make it 22-13. Restarted a 1,000 download podcast, but you won a basketball game as a coach this week as well.
Yeah, back in the saddle as the freshman coach, if only for a night. And that was fun. I called Coach Thompson on the way home, Coach Craig Knapp, and I said, I'm like the Mafia. Every time I think I'm out, you guys rope me back in.
Pull me back in. So yeah, had a big week, but going to go get a turnover, so go back to Forest Park. Lady Vikings down 9 with 3.5 left, but I tell you, I don't think anyone's going to be upset with the showing so far by the Lady Vikings, especially playing a little short-handed here. As Welp's going to shoot and miss, and there's Treader again on the rebound with the putback.
That's a double-digit lead. Now I am being told that, hey, we are there. Mark Bledsoe says that it's perfect. We're perfect, Brino.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Gladish going to go up top to Beth, over to Thompson. She's going to fire a 3 and just miss, but Gladish on the rebound.
Yeah, just kind of an awkward shot by Kylie, and that's the one thing, the size, the tall timber of Forest Park, when you do get that offensive rebound, you know, you don't have time to sit around and think about it. You've got to throw it up, and sometimes you rush your shots, but a good defensive play by Kylie right there, and the Vikings headed the other way. Beth with it, over to Willow. Willow looking for Natalie down in the post. Can't find her. Back to Beth. Now Ellie's got it. She's going to back it out. Willow had it for just a second. Beth with a long jumper. Long two. No good. Offensive rebound. No Kylie. Now Willow going to dial up a long one. That's going to be long. Rebounded by Forest Park.
Good shot, though, by Willow Thompson, and those are shots we absolutely have to take.
And a miss on the Forest Park end. Now we're going to have a tie-up. And a possession arrow going to give it back to the Lady Rangers.
That was one of the over-the-back calls that seemed to be pretty easy, but didn't get a call that time. It's going to be tie-up. So let me put your coach's hat on here, as I know. I mean, obviously,
I have coached one game this week.
You're the only one with a victory this week as a coach, so I got to go to you. JV game action as Treader scores another one to make it 26-13. JV game. Bar-Eve getting in position, doing a great job on the offensive boards, but missed several, let's say, 1, 2, 3 footers in traffic. What do you do in a practice situation? Do you just keep making them shoot it and just bang them? And
we we get the pads out.
Yep.
The boys, we get the pads out. Sometimes you take a little pride in that after a bad day of school, which I very rarely have bad days. But no, you get the pads out, you get the the pool noodles, and you
make them shoot,
shoot and hit, and you got to, you're not just drilling people to drill them, but you're giving them a little contact, and eyes on the rim, eyes on the rim, eyes on the rim. Another Forest Park steal. They're going to be cut off, and that shot going to be bothered by Willow Thompson. They're going to get a foul and headed the other way.
That's a good job by Willow there getting position on that rebound, and you heard in Coach Higgins' scouting report, I talked about that was a big thing for the Lady Vikings to make sure that they're doing their job, getting in position for rebounds, getting bodies on people, boxing out, and exactly what they did that time.
So go ahead, Brano.
No, I was just saying Beth crosses the timeline there.
So Gladish with it, looking for an opening. Ava Carter over to Natalie. Natalie going to fire one. It's going to miss, and good hustle by Gladish, going to save it. Now that one going to be poked away, and Natalie, mistake right there was, you always want people who are going to chase the ball, but that ball was going to go into the Forest Park bench, and Barry was going to get it on the sideline.
Yeah, for sure. Coach Higgins going to coach her up on that. And just little things like that, though, Mike, the Lady Vikings just making so many strides in that basketball IQ column. We're just making more plays now.
Well, in defense of Natalie a little bit, as Ava Carter may have got away with a bump right there. Natalie, she may not have seen who tipped it last
exactly.
and tried to make that play. So, but Bar-Eve's still with it, trailing by 13. We're under a minute. 26-13. Gladish going to be cut off. She's going to bounce it out to Jenica, back to Beth. And Bar-Eve going to reset right here. Beth has it, top of the key. Over to Jenica. Jenica back to Beth. Coming up on 30. Jenica going to fire a long one. Brino, get the checkbook out.
We're writing checks today. I like it. Helm's going to nail a three-pointer. This is good stuff from behind the arc, getting that percentage up for Bar Eva. I think they came into the WC game shooting 17% from behind the arc, so a day like this is what we needed.
But Forest Park going to answer. Allie Welp going to knock one in. There's coming up on 5. Here comes Jenica. I'd like to see Jenica just pull up.
Yeah.
And Kylie going to get it on the baseline. Going to put up a runner, and it's going to bounce long, no good. But at halftime on the JJ's Concrete scoreboard, 29-16, Forest Park leads it. Halftime today brought to you by Montgomery Medical, located across the street from Bar Eve High School. We'll be back in just a moment for the halftime show. Brian Emmons will have all of today's halftime statistics, talk about the second half, and maybe even talk about the Bar Eve Lagodi game last night, and maybe even a podcast note or two. All that and more. 29-16, Forest Park leads it here at halftime. Back to the new Viking Arena after this timeout. And we'll do 3 here, Cannon. Today's Concrete scoreboard, 29-16. Forest Park leads it here at halftime. And no other way to put it there, Brino, Lady Rangers, an excellent basketball team.
They really are, shorthanded or not. When you've got a player like Amber Treader leading the point, 6'1", athletic as can be, you're going to be okay even if you're missing a player or two. And she had 15 points to lead the Forest Park Lady Rangers in the first half. Very easy scoring to read off. 8 points for Allie Welp, 6 points for Carly Bagel. For the Lady Vikings, Kylie Gladish had a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer for 5. 3-pointer for Beth Graber, she had 3. Willow Thompson had 3 points on a 3-point basket. And Jenica Helms has 5 points on a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer. So 29-16, Forest Park at the half.
And, you know, you might think, oh, man, 13-point deficit. The Vikings are not playing well. And, you know, I was trying to fix some of these technical issues in the first quarter. But from what I've seen, the Lady Vikings, obviously Forest Park, they're going to turn you over a little bit. They're bigger. They're taller. They're going to get out in transition. But as far as half-court looks, the Vikings have made some threes. They've had open shots that they have not made. But everything I think in the half court has looked pretty good on the Bar event.
You know, like we said, coming in, I mean, obviously we've got to handle the basketball. But we're really working hard in practice on shooting the ball better. And Bar Eve doing exactly that. You know, like I said, had 3 3-pointers in the first half. So that's a good sign to see. Another coaching point was rebounding, getting in position, grabbing the basketball, and really hitting the boards. Bar Eve did that. So along with the good, confident ball handling, passing the ball, staying patient, they're knocking down some shots. So it's just fantastic half, whether we're down 13 points or not. This ball club is continuing to make strides.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, 29-16, Vikings trail it here at halftime. Halftime brought to you by Montgomery Medical, located across the street from Bar Eve High School. And Viking Nation, if you want a reason to feel good about life here at Bar Eve, it's 1:35 p.m., and I left here initially at 11:25 to go eat lunch with a couple of former students. And Braden Knepp, last night's Viking hero, was just getting warmed up in Kavanaugh Court. Braden Knepp just walked into the new Viking arena with his basketball and his bag. So that means your conquering hero last night, Braden Knepp, the sophomore sensation, has basically put in 2 hours in the gym on Saturday.
I tell you what, that was by no means did he win that game by himself, but you talk about needing a spark and getting one. That kid came in there and lit it up after playing some pretty good basketball in the JV game.
Yeah, he certainly did. So 29-16, Forest Park leads it. Back to the new Viking arena after this timeout. And rest of our lives. Back at Bar Eve High School, second half underway. Forest Park and Bar Eve, and right out of the gate, tried a little back screen lob to Amber Treader, and she's going to be bumped by Brunson on the floor.
We've seen that play work a few times this year, just the other way.
Yeah,
Hannah,
typically.
We get Hannah on that for quite a few baskets so far this year.
And triple in the corner, no good, but another offensive rebound by Forest Park. And now Beth going to come out with it, poke it away, and she's going to have it poked away from behind, and that's where her teammates, Brian, I know we talked about this before, they got to let her know that there is company in the vicinity.
Well, and listen, I'm going to say farther than that. I didn't hear anybody on the Bar Eve bench yelling either, and that's your job. When you're out of the game, you still have jobs to do, and that's one of them.
An engaged bench. I used to, of all the things that as Forest Park going to turn the corner, nice jumper by Welp, makes it a 15-point game. But no, there's a lot of times where volleyball players, the other team will be serving, and we'll play a ball that's going to go out. I'll tell Amber, I said, those girls on the end of the bench, they need to call that ball out so the people in the game know it. Yeah, same thing in this right here, where you need to be engaged in the game.
Yep, for sure. Got a decent crowd over there. I know she's not going to hear this, but my mom over there, I want to wish her a happy birthday today.
Oh, my, happy birthday. How old? Do we need to announce that?
Well, I don't know if I should do that or not, but she's 75.
Oh, wow. Willow going to miss a three, rebounded by Treader.
It's a milestone.
I think it is, yeah. I definitely think it is. So happy birthday to your mother. And down in the post, good, tough post move there. Number 32, Carla Begley, and she got bumped there a little bit, but we talked about that off the air. How do you do that? And it's her eyes are at the rim, and she laid it in.
Yeah, that's something that both the varsity and the JV for Bar Eve going to have to continue to work on as Kylie fires and misses a three-pointer. But that shooting in traffic has got to get better for both teams.
And it's going to be a full timeout after the breakout layup. It's 35-16 Forest Park blowing this game open. 6:03 left, third quarter. Back to the new Viking Arena after this 1-minute timeout. And out of the timeout, Bar Eve going to get the basketball into the post. Ava Carter going to be fouled on the floor, and the Vikings are going to get it on the baseline.
Yeah, during that timeout, Coach Higgins gave a speech to the Lady Vikings like I know Josh Thompson had to give to the boys Vikings recently about sprinting back on defense and making sure we stop the ball. And we'll see if the message got received as well as it did on the other end.
Forest Park with it. And Treader with it way out high. Some ball reversal action here. Long three put up, in and out, no good. Ava going to run it down, and she's going to dribble it out. And this is what I think Ava can really do here as the years go by.
I agree.
She went and got the rebound, dribbled it out, and then what happened right there is number 12, that's Maddie Wathen, tapped it, and it went off of Ava's thigh, it appears, out of bounds. But, you know, there's something to be said. You can be 6 feet tall, 6'2", but if you ask me, would you rather have somebody who's 6'2" and immobile or somebody who's 5'9" and can go get a ball,
and go get it,
out of your area and then go? I'd take the 5'9" girl, and I think Ava's going to turn into that player. As Forest Park going to get it in the post, and Carly Begley going to be fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot two.
I texted with Coach Thompson earlier today. I had one of the basketball parents, Melody Brunson, asked me a question that I didn't know the answer of, but I knew Josh would. If a JV game goes into overtime, does the overtime count as a quarter for a JV player?
Okay, I'm going to guess the answer.
Okay.
And I think I know it, but I'm not sure. I think you can play in perpetuity, and it doesn't count against your quarters. Is that right?
That's correct. If you played in the fourth quarter, the overtime does not count as another quarter. If you did not play in the fourth quarter, it does.
And Forest Park going to miss 2 free throws. Thought they had grabbed an offensive rebound, but then unable to gain control, and the Vikings going to get the basketball back, trailing by 19.
Yeah, 2 good basketball games last night. That JV game came down to the last possession as well, so people that paid to go see that or paid on that NFHS app got their money's worth.
Willow Thompson going to have a foot on the line. It's going to be short, and she's going to hustle, chase it down, but touch it last.
We need to knock down a couple more threes, get my wife to write a little bit more of a check.
That's right. So are you saying that Emmons household still writes checks?
Well, in certain situations,
okay.
Yes, but not very many. I think as far as an actual check, I think maybe our water bill is the only one that we still pay by check.
Forest Park trying to balloon this lead out even more.
Good job, Kylie.
Kylie going to get in the passing lane. Beth going to pick it off. Throw it up to Willow. Good hustle by Willow. And they're going to call it a block shot. I wish that's where we would say, hey, foul. But now Forest Park going to force a Viking timeout. We'll take another one. 4:06 left, third quarter, 35-16. Back in 1 minute. Vikings will have the basketball out of the timeout. Smart play by Beth right there. A lot of people who wouldn't know or hadn't played a lot would have panicked, and Beth just let that thing go in the backcourt. Now she goes and saves it. Vikings get in their offense. Brunson going to go to the line to shoot two.
Mariah threw in 7 points in just limited JV action today. Looked really, really good to lead them in scoring, and then followed up by Emma Knepp, who is just continuing to get better. She had 6 points in a real nice JV win.
And Brunson's free throw is good.
Good job, Mariah. That was a good offensive set there. Like you said, Beth makes the smart basketball play and not grabbing the ball and then stepping across the half line, and then good entry pass. Mariah gets to the line. Knocks them both down.
So 35-18. Forest Park with it. They're going to get it into Treader. Treader just, she missed right there, but she knew exactly what she wanted to do, how she wanted it set up, and left the lefty hook just a little short.
Yeah, I don't think this is her first year of basketball.
No,
I think she's been around the block a couple of times.
No, it is not. I remember watching her when she was a freshman. And that one going to go out of bounds through Ava Carter's hands. And she has, it's always a bad thing to say about a girl. She's put on some weight. No, she was kind of gangly, skinny.
Yeah.
Now she just looks really athletic. She's fluid. She's mobile.
She play volleyball?
I do not think so, but I could be wrong. We did not play the Rangers this year in volleyball, but she's strong in the post. I've had a really
probably too soon to say that it'd be nice to see her in a Viking volleyball game.
No, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. No, but in all seriousness, no, she is. You can see why she is going to play basketball at the next level.
Yeah, no question.
She continues to add muscle to her frame, and yeah, she's a lot of the people down in Ferdinand have some things to be excited about with this girls basketball program.
Yeah, they get after you. Like I say, missing a couple players, going to get a travel there, but yeah, they're awfully solid. I remember 2 years ago on this Saturday afternoon game when they came to our place, Bar-Eve won a really close, exciting game.
Yeah.
And tensions were high that day, and it was a really good basketball game.
So travel going to be called. Here comes Willow Thompson. And pass going to be low and at the feet. It's going to be tied up. Bar-Eve going to get it back on the alternating possession.
I watched the game last night, the Bar-Eve Lagodi boys game on that feed. How was the atmosphere? Was it just as loud and crazy as what you'd expect?
It was good. And on the inbounds, Brunson going to get it. And her shot going to be blocked. Ball on the floor. Forest Park going to pick it up. No, as the Rangers on a little bit of a secondary break. Treader on the baseline. She's going to be cut off, kick it back. You know, Bar-Eve fans, as Forest Park going to knock in another triple, are notoriously, and I mean this, it can be taken both ways, pretty well behaved and pretty mellow. Not a lot of, but when Braden hit those 2 threes in the third quarter, and we took the lead, that's about as jacked as a Bar-Eve crowd gets. And it was, and there was a call at one point last night where I think Lagodi wanted an offensive foul. They called a block. And man, they got heated. So yeah, there was some back and forth, no doubt about it.
It's funny, you know, I grew up over in Illinois, and right after that, on that app, I flipped over. Forest Park going to shoot and miss one from the free throw line. Willow Thompson on the rebound. I flipped over to Mild High School. I noticed they were playing, and it was on that same app. I flipped over to it, and it's like night and day. You know, we're so lucky here to have these atmospheres, and you flip over there, and it's a quiet gymnasium, and maybe 25% full, and so it's fun to see that still going strong here in Southwest Indiana.
Yeah. Bar-Eve going to get whistled for travel, so Forest Park going to get it back with a 20-point lead. As you mentioned, both teams missing some key pieces today, as we're back in not just a COVID wave, but it was a nice move down on the baseline as well. Going to go off the glass and good, 40-18, but some more contact tracing going on, so hopefully we'll.
That's too bad, too. I would really have liked to have seen Hannah go against Treader, but also get that experience.
This would have been a great game because, hey, Hannah, what do you want to look like in 2 years?
Right.
And as Jenica going to knock in an elbow jumper. But Amber Treader would be a good person to say, hey, that's who I would like to model my game after.
For sure. Built very similarly and very athletic.
And that's, you know, talking about Treader a second ago, that's kind of how she was built when she was a freshman. She looked a lot like Hannah Bledsoe. So, Hannah, I know you're home listening. Protein shakes, eggs, ice cream, cake.
Lots of cake.
Lots of cake. Mark Bledsoe, we know you're not exactly Team Fit fam over there. Let's go. Get the calories going on.
What kind of baker Mark Bledsoe is.
Mark Bledsoe, he talks about food like Homer Simpson does sometimes. So, donuts. Well, hope the Bledsoe house is feeling better.
Yes.
See him back this week.
For sure. Forest Park going to be very, very patient, work the ball around the defense, but Bar-Eve having something to do with that. They're good active defense, good hands, high hands for the Lady Vikings.
So we're down 10 seconds.
Since that timeout, though, I will say this for the Lady Vikings, even though they're down 20, playing very hard still. Good hands by Ellie Knepp. Good job.
And that's a good defensive close. So at the end of 3, Forest Park leads at 40-20. Back for the fourth quarter after this timeout. I think I may have muted it. So I said, we're still not on the radio side, we're on the YouTube side. All the Bledsoes are watching. I said, do you have anything to say to Mark and Hannah Bledsoe?
Yeah, to Mark especially, I coached a couple of years with him at the junior high level, and as a basketball coach and a basketball mind, he's a fantastic police officer.
all of love. There's getting great text messages. Oh, my.
Red Hill podcast today, and we played the $25,000 pyramid, the Red Hill edition. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, what? And Forest Park turns it over out of the timeout. So Bar Eve going to get one back pretty quickly here. In the floor for the Vikings, you got Beth Graber, Emma Knepp, Jenica Helms, Jenna Harrison, and Ellie Knepp. And Beth going to line up a long one, and it rattles off, no good. Forest Park going to grab it.
Jenna Harrison gave the Lady Vikings some good minutes at WC the other night, and I noticed we're talking about the players that are out, but Caitlin Wood back on the bench. She's been out with a shoulder injury for quite some time, so it's good to see her playing. And then, like we said, it sounds like we're going to get our point guard back next week, which will vastly help the Viking ball handling as they go into the tournament. Yeah,
Colleen is just a jitterbug out there. Is Forest Park going to line up another long one? No good. Jenica going to grab it, and Barry going to run. Good. And Jenica get it ahead to Harrison, and Jenna was just kind of in between steps right there when she caught it.
Yeah, really nice pass by Jenica Helms. Don't see her lead a lot of breaks, but that was a good pass, and just couldn't quite get the timing right, but good defense there by Ellie Knepp to get the steal.
Poked away by Emma Knepp, cousin of Hannah Graber. Still here on Media Row, and Emma's shot going to be short. Going to be last touch by Harrison out of bounds. Forest Park going to get it back.
Emma might call that a pass to Jenna Harrison that she dropped, not a short shot.
A pass that she dropped. That's what I'd go with, absolutely.
I wasn't shooting that. I see Denny Brunson down there on the front row who told me that we were going to get this big snowstorm on Tuesday night. I said, it's not going to snow.
No.
He said it was.
I'm convinced it's not going to happen this year.
And he's still sticking the fact that it did snow. And I'm like, well, you can't count it. If you don't have improper footing, it doesn't count. There's over the top of the defense to Treader, who's going to knock that one down.
Yeah, just good possession. She established inside position, diagonal pass, got her. Beth going to get one in the lane, and it's going to roll in and out, no good. Treader going to grab it. Gets it off to Welp. And a long triple going to be put up, no good, but Barib kind of overruns the rebound, get a break there. Jenica going to grab the next one.
That's perfect timing by the player there to grab that rebound, but I got away with that one.
Ellie with it. Over to Emma Harrison, and she's going to have it poked away. And the one thing that I can see here now, Forest Park going to throw it away, is Bar Eve for a girls team. Yes, we are young, but you talk Hannah Bledsoe, Ellie Knepp are basically both 6 feet tall. Ava Carter, 5'9", 5'10". The Vikings have some really nice size.
Yep.
And we look small compared to Forest Park.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the first thing that the scouting report said, long and aggressive, and that's a good description. But there's Jenica Helms going to drive left side, knock in a shot. Nice game so far for Jenica. That is her 9th point.
Yeah, she just kind of ripped it, went on the baseline, put it off the glass, and it rolled in.
What's the DeCourcy family doing on a Saturday night in January?
Boy, and that one going to be poked out of bounds. Barry going to get it back. I would say my wife will be wanting to be taken on a date somewhere, which usually involves a restaurant to eat.
And
usually
a lot of romance, I can imagine.
As Jenica going to fire one up, no good, but it's going to be last touch by Forest Park. Usually we go to this wonderful new bistro. It's a boutique almost with top-notch menu items, a wine cellar with bottles and bottles throughout the decades. Gotcha. A little place that we call Red Bones.
Is that French?
Yes, it is French.
Okay.
It is French.
Like it. I doubted that you were going to go out for romance, but it turns out you are.
And Forest Park going to be fouled by Beth Graber.
A place you can dance if you'd like to.
You can dance. Everybody knows your name.
Yes, they do.
Everybody
Everybody knows your name.
Yes. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left.
I'm always amazed at just how lucky Amber DeCourcy is, quite frankly.
I try to tell her that every day.
Okay. Good rebound there by Willow Thompson. Speaking of lucky.
And Jenica going to be hit on the three, and she's going to go to the line to shoot three.
All right.
And that was just kind of I wouldn't say a reckless play, but Maddie Wathen just not under control and flew into the arm of Jenica. And Jenica, it looks like she hit her in the hand. She's kind of shaking it off a little bit like Taylor Swift. Now she's going to shoot 3 free throws.
Well, talk about probably not the play that Forest Park wanted, and immediately we have a conference going on. Coach just gives you that little wave over. We're going to discuss that play you just made. Jenica knocks down the first one.
She got the first 2 to go. We'll say I am not all that familiar with a couple of faces on this officiating crew today, but I will say, even with the Vikings in an 18-point deficit, I think they've done a pretty fantastic job.
You know something, talking about the game last night, Jenica knocks down all 3. Great job and good offensive effort today by Jenica. I noticed, I was listening to the JV game. Our friends over at WRZR were broadcasting that, and I noticed 3 or 4 times they said, well, they called a travel, but they were dribbling, so it could have been a lot of things travel. The same refereeing crew did that here, our last home game here, as Treader knocks down a 3. They called traveling just as default, even if it was something else.
Yeah, there were a few of those that I think I'm not sure either JV team was necessarily happy about, but at the end of it, Barry got a good stop at the end of that game and picked up a 34-32 win as Willow had a 3 and just going to be closed off. Now the pass going to be bobbled. Forest Park going to pick it up.
Probably should have shot that one.
Treader with it. Welp going to line up a long one. It's going to bounce along. No good. Forest Park going to pick it up. And a foul. And that's going to put Carly Begley at the line to shoot 2.
Begley with 8 points on the afternoon.
And you might want to ask yourself, hey, what is Barry basketball, is Begley going to leave it short? What's Josh Thompson doing for an encore? Well, Coach Emmons, here in a minute, if you and I wanted to walk down to the Northwest Gym, we'll see our second graders playing the Bloomfield Cardinals.
We probably ought to just take the microphones and everything.
Just roll it down there? Yeah. So Coach Thompson pulls double duty as a second grade coach. Amber and Toby Madison, they ran the 3rd and 4th grade boys practice today, so they're building the girls' empire and dynasty at that level, and the boys.
I like it.
And that ball going to be deflected off Kylie's foot out of bounds. Forest Park going to get it back. So no, morning after a big game, all the gyms were full and busy this morning. Probably the way God intended.
Well, and there's no, it's not an accident that the Bar Eve basketball tradition keeps rolling on, and it's because these gyms are full all the time. Bagley going to get a 2-pointer underneath. Beth Graber going to bring it down, but there's a lot of games won on Friday and Saturday nights, but it all starts on Saturday mornings and Sunday afternoons in shooting, and a lot of work goes into it.
Beth going to get called for a foul in the backcourt.
Ric Flair didn't become a 16-time world champion by sitting around watching cartoons on Saturday.
No, he did it on the Stairmaster.
That's right. Woo. Natalie Wagler going to check in. 48-25 Bar Even. I know that score is not what we want, but there's a lot of good things today against a good Forest Park team.
And it starts with you're missing your leading scorer and leading rebounder.
Yeah.
And not that Hannah Bledsoe would have made a 23-point difference, but you would certainly you'd see a lot of second chance points limited, and shot going to be put up no good, but Forest Park going to go back to the free throw line. Wathen going to shoot 2. You might get some second chance points, and you're not going to give up as many with somebody who's 6'1" in there.
Yep, that's for sure, and talking about the preparation and the time you got to put in to build a program, and we have the right coach here to do that, looking toward the future. Lots of energy, Coach Higgins, and she obviously, we have a mutual affection for Gretchen Miles at Washington,
Yep.
and that's where Lacey was, and we're on the right track.
Yep. Let it breathe, people. Let it breathe.
That's right.
49-25. Hannah Graber knows about 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
I like it.
Jenica's 3 going to roll out.
I should teach a class at Bar Eve on Ric Flair.
You should teach a class on just wrestling. I would be an assistant professor. Yes. And Forest Park going to put another one up in the lane. And was that Fleck on that
I think that was Fleck.
Okay, Grace Fleck. Now ball down on the baseline, going to be poked away.
Looking at the rest of the schedule coming up on the 18th, Bar Eve is at home against Shoals, and I believe, I have to double check, I think that's varsity only. I'll have to double check that one.
I think you are correct, sir.
And then the 20th, we're at South Knox, 25th at Northeast Du Bois, and the 27th at North Knox. Sectional draw this Sunday.
Yep.
On the girls' side. That random draw.
Yeah, the super random draw that is, as missed shot, going to be rebounded and put in by Natalie Wagler. As we know, the random draw that's going to end up with Lagodi, Shoals, and WC on one side in the boys' draw, as we talked about in the on the podcast the other night.
Yeah.
That's Gladish going to foul.
I know, like I say, I really started paying attention to Bar Eve basketball in the early 2000s when I started dating my wife, and we had nephews playing, and it's just always funny that Bar Eve and Lagodi never play on Tuesday.
Let's just say I have a friend who is or was a head coach and not associated with Bar Eve, and they were at one point in time invited to a draw at the IHSAA years and years and years ago.
Okay.
And while I was in church, I got a text message. And you might think, well, why would you check a text message in church?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer to that would be, well, my phone went off.
No.
But no,
Why
all
not?
joking aside. And it was 11 o'clock in the morning. Is Ellie going to be fouled? She's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
I think I know where we're headed here.
And the text basically said, for your eyes only. And the draw takes place 8 hours before we all allegedly see it.
Yeah.
So I had to be, as Ellie's free throw going to roll out, I had to be, what's the juror's term? I was quashed. Is that the term? Yeah. I mean, I couldn't say a word about it. So, yeah, the crap you see on TV at night at 7 o'clock has been decided for hours, and probably decided, months before by the Bilderbergs or the Illuminati or whatever.
Right, yeah, for sure. Natalie Wagler going to throw it in. Woody going to miss a shot, but Wagler gets it after the tip. Sierra Redmond on the rebound. She's going to get fouled and go to the free throw line.
So C going to the line to shoot 2.
Let's see. Where is the sectional?
It is at North Davies.
Okay, and the boys is at Lagodi.
Sierra's free throw going to roll in and out, no good.
Yeah, I could line up a lot of great guest speakers if we ever start that professional wrestling class at Bar Eve.
Yes, you could. See, second free throw is going to be long. And rebounded by Forest Park. Here come the Rangers with 45 seconds left. It's a sub. I'd say if Forest Park gets a shot, they'll take it. But I don't think they're just going to fire up a 3 to fire one. And Ellie going to pick one off, but she's going to step on the sideline. Ran out of real estate over there, so Barry will go back and play a little more defense.
With the amount of seniors that Forest Park has, looking at our youth getting a little older, Treader will be back. This will be a really good basketball game in 2023, I promise you.
Yeah, no, it will be. And a long triple going to be put up. Going to miss everything. Ball going to be tapped around. And Sierra almost comes out with it. Now Forest Park going to save it. And now Lady Rangers going to go down off the backboard. No good. Ellie going to grab it. Vikings still have 5 seconds. Let's see if they can get a shot up. Let's see if we even know how much time is left, and I do not think we do. Jenna going to fire one at the buzzer. It's going to be late, and that's going to do it. Final today on the JJ's Concrete scoreboard, 51-27. Forest Park wins it. We're going to take our post-game timeout. When we come back, have all of today's final statistics, Bill Dobson, Ford Tough Player of the Game, and more. Vikings fall to Forest Park today, 51-27. Back to Bar Eve High School after this timeout. How much do we have, Cannon? Right, yeah, burn it all.
8.
for Kendall program. Just because, we have all of these families, and I look around and see so many of the Bar Eve families, and I know the list, boys and girls games. If you want to contribute that, just get in contact with the high school office. Send Katrina Murphy an email. It's not like it's limited to anybody or a few things. I know if you are if you bank at German American and you have your favorite, your Bar Eve Viking check card, I know that there's a very small percentage of each purchase that you make that goes back to the Viking Promise Scholarship Fund. So good program honoring the legacy of a real fine dude.
Yep.
So closing thoughts, Brino?
Well, I took the loss today. Obviously, it was not a close game, but a lot of good things. Bar Eve shot the ball better, especially behind the arc, and they're starting to look for those shots.
Yep.
And had a few turnovers today. I think I had them at 14 or 15 on the game. Maybe have missed a couple as we just got into some conversation. However, against a very good, aggressive Forest Park defense, starting to handle the ball better, and I think things are coming together. And I really believe this team is going to peak to make a good showing in the tournament come sectional time.
Yeah, I do too, and that's all you can do, and keep getting better and digging in for the future, and hopefully there's some more wins left out there for these Lady Vikings as we wrap it up. So big thanks to Cannon Shake back at the station keeping us, what did he keep us?
On air, online, and on time.
And for my friend, my partner, my buddy Brian Emmons, I'm Mike DeCourcy. Forest Park wins it today over the Vikings. We'll talk to you on Tuesday, Bar Eve girls. Thursday, Bar Eve girls. Friday, Saturday, Bar Eve boys. Busy week of Viking sports next week. And we'll have it all for you right here on the General 95.9, 101.3, and on the Viking live stream on YouTube through Bar Eve Media, at least in the home game. So that's going to do it. Have a great Saturday, everybody. God bless and go Vikings. So long for now. Thanks, Cannon.
Thanks, Cannon.